Hello, greetings. Thank you for joining us on this fine day. On this, is this Easter week? Is it what is it? Good Friday? I guess that's today. It just started. Yep, I guess so. I forget that it's a holiday week. So, um, yeah. Then so the world is doing what it does best. So we went from the end of the country to the end of the country with I guess Anheuser-Busch. Um, I guess they put it like a transvestite on their beer on Budweiser beer, and now they're wondering why they have a lot of backlash. So and Nike's doing it too. I'm not sure if there's a transvestite on their shoes, but they're using a this influencer that got a sex change so she can manipulate reality, and it's working. It's funny how some celebrities wear dresses and all that to get big. Some just get a whole sex change and just go for it. So I think that's what this person did. I'm not really sure. I'm not keeping up with it that much, but anyway, I think this is absolutely hilarious. But I mean, a beer company that's so stupid or just so I mean, they got mind manipulated, obviously. I mean, it just shows you how the manipulation works. I mean, this guy is a large corporation that doesn't know itself, apparently, and got, had this guy that's not, I guess he's not I don't know the story of it. It's transvestite that took over their company, basically. It's ruining their company. It's hilarious. I'm just wondering, Disney's probably thinking the same thing to have it use a transvestite as their mascot. I imagine they're rethinking that right now. So, So anyway, it just shows how the mind manipulation is working here. If you want to get some, of course, it's not really working for Anheuser-Busch to get somewhere in life. It's more like the opposite, where they're actually watching themselves go under. So, but it's working for her, or him, or her, or whatever is going on there. Nothing that there's anything wrong with that, but it just shows we're definitely in a dystopian reality. So, I heard about. I'm not going to put any pictures of her. That I'm not going. I don't even remember her name or his name, or I'm not going to get into that. Yuck. You can look up Anheuser-Busch trans, or just look up Anheuser-Busch. They're pretty much ruining their company right now. I'm not sure if they'll have a company after this. I mean, it's actually pretty funny. It's so this is how you destroy your company. So the energy I saw of that reminds me of Brazil, of the movie Brazil. That's absolutely confusing. People are getting all these plastic surgeries, have their faces all bent over and all twisted out and everything, and just terrorism, and basically, I think, squat was it not squatting? It's squatted, or whatever you call it when the cops come over. Yeah, there's a word for it. I'm not getting right now, but anyway, when the cops come over and just raid your house. And that happens a lot right now, where they're just done on mistake and everything, on accident. So, so that people, their whole lives are ruined on a technicality, on a mistake. So, the movie Brazil it's hard to watch. It's hard to. And that I think it was intended to be that way. They give you a headache. So, and that's kind of the reality we're in right now. If you care, or if you live off in some other reality, that's fine. But some are going into the higher dimension, and that's probably the place to be right now. Look at this world, it's like, ouch. I have to admit, it is humorous, so watch it burn. It's definitely not a good sign for the U.S., that's for sure. I mean, it's one thing, the political stuff, but we'll just burn the whole place down, right? So It's definitely a sign of it. So anyways, like Brazil, energy there, so it's having some of that. And holographic projections. One that might be a little out there for some, but our you say technically our reality is a projection from somewhere else. I know it's a little bit, imagine some people understand where that's coming from, but it's like it's a physical reality, but it is like, an overlay, a grid, a matrix, however you want to word it. A holographic projection that's still very real in the physical. Obviously, there are four-dimensional beings that are here in the spirit realms, alien beings that can open doors from other realities and see us, but we can't see them. Sometimes you might be able to feel them, but all of a sudden you're doing fine, and all of a sudden you're not doing fine. A lot of times it's somebody is paying you a visit, basically, or just someone sending you negativity. It all depends on the situation. So it's like a holographic reality in a world that's just a world of pandemonium. Jeez, it's quite the sight we have right now. It's quite the reality we're going into. Now it seems like bleaker what the future holds. It's we'll still survive, but it's showing its society breakdowns here and there that's going on. And this person that had the I guess she got surgery to become I'm not sure what's going on there, but I'm assuming, I think she did. Anyway, she was a man, then she became a woman. She just did it for publicity. And it's all about publicity. It's all about being famous. But you do that and you have to live that the rest of your life. You got to keep that up. It's like, talk about keeping the act up your whole life. The energy I pick up on that is like, after a while, it's going to get old. It's like, what did I do with myself? It's like, oh, it's too late now. Like 5-10 years later, it's like, the whole. That's the one thing. You make a decision like that. At least in her case, others have legit changes. That's different. But in this person's case, it's like, was it worth it? Probably not. But whatever. Who cares? It's a character study. Geez, if you have a transvestite taking over this country, at least the media or this is like $1 billion corporations, and this fucking ruining them. So maybe they have a bunch of transvestites working there. Well, that would explain everything. This is Nike, Anheuser-Busch might be someone else, which would make sense if there's a bunch of transvestites working there. That would make perfect sense, but I don't think that's the case. Maybe they're. There are elites that do that. They've been doing it forever. They have all that power. They keep changing their genders, and they're all screwed up. You have enough power, you got nothing better to do. But not. Jeez. We are kind of like, we do see the elites. We do get affected by them. Like, people want to be rich. They want to have a boat. They want to have luxuries. They want this and that. That's energy from the elite. You can say manipulation. And now the sex change thing is getting out of hand. It's like, they're going after the kids. Of course they're going to do that. To keep things as confusing as possible. So, unfortunately, it's working. And Disney, you kind of wonder about that, how long they're going to last. Of course, they'll probably not leave anytime soon, but it'd be nice to see that place go. But anyway, let's see here. Oh yeah, I don't think I have it here. Anyways, I haven't talked to comment private sessions. Schedule. We have a shop here. The webinar, social network, behind the scenes, and the video archive. Also, if you want to submit a video idea, for a subject matter, like I said, I'm talking about transvestites tonight because I didn't have any submissions. See what happens when you don't have any submissions? You just talk about that. That'll be the default. Sorry, I just had to put that out there. No, it's not gonna be a default, but it'd be funny if it was. It's not funny actually. But yeah, you can. I made a video earlier about this on AT Origins. Yeah, just you make an account there, and you can post it in the live, just in the comment area. There's only one place to post it, and I'll take a look at it and see what we got. Or I thought I had a. Oh, I closed it out. So Brazil, if you're not, I've done videos about them before. It's a hard movie to watch, though. It's bad, but it's, like I said, I think it's done on purpose, and it was hard for them to get it out too. This is kind of like the age where we're in, and whoever knows, like over analyzing everything, and I'm not sure what that's about, but that ain't looking good either. Everything is paperwork and everything. Oh, the plastic surgery. They have terrorism and all. We don't. Well, it still exists. We just don't hear about it so much, but it's still going on. I guess he's in jail with Santa Claus. I'm not sure what that's about. But anyway, it's all about paperwork. Boy, is it about paper. Yeah, where I work is like freaking ridiculous. Anyway, I'm not going to go into that. So yeah, paper. It just, jeez, it's, dude, all this paperwork, and of course the government's full of paperwork, and that's going really well. Yeah, I have a funny thing about the government. I'm not going to mention it here, but one day I'll feel like it. About the Social Security, let's put it this way: they don't even know what they're doing. At least in my experience. I mean, you think they would have some idea? No, they don't. That's nice. I was like, how can you screw that up? It's like, you know, it's the government. That's a little bit cryptic there. So, all right, we're going to the whole trans situation, or the situation in general. But yeah, it does feel like these multi-billion-dollar corporations are having a mental manipulation, you can say. Are they thinking correctly? I guess they're channeling their inner selves. I mean, they have a can like beer that's for like, you know, regular people or rednecks, whoever, and they put a transvestite on there. How do you think that's gonna go? I think it's on the can. I'm surprised it's not on Nike shoes. You know, I guess we'll see it on Disney eventually. I don't know. It's funny. Sure. Yeah, you can make a movie out of this. That's for sure. Don't anybody laugh about it. Some people will, but others might. Yeah. It's like, what world you coming on? So, another thing, I know people said this world is probably one of the harder worlds. Yes, but us as individuals, we can make worlds that are harder than this if you have the guts to do it. How do you do that? You do it astrally. You know, there's always somebody trying to beat somebody out. There's always worlds harder than, yeah, it just goes on forever. There's worlds that are easier, and you got medium, and then you got hard, and it goes on and on. So anyway, just putting that out there. Just making sure I got anything. Make sure everything is running good. Okay. Okay, all right, we're going to we're going to something. We're going to the state of affairs of the world is not not doing great. Anyway, but you know, some are so tapped out to another reality, and that's probably the place to be right now. So, all right, we're going to what's going on with the world and go from there. It is a comedy. I'm sorry. Go from the country going under to to where we're at now. So great. All right, let's go. Fritzy's here, biting my foot. Let's Greetings. The conscious of your reality, human consciousness. So you can say some of these corporations are connecting more to a feminine side of themselves. Maybe it goes to the extreme, just like a family member would do so. So I guess you say they're testing it out, and it's not going well with the rest. Yeah, there's a lot of testosterone in this reality. And yes, it's kind of forcing femininity, maybe not in the best energies, but it is showing how the male and female vibration is, it's kind of giving a glimpse of the future, how you're going to higher frequencies where the male is more open to the feminine side of itself. So, as you know, many males here are very hardcore male. But over time, it become more male female energy. Doesn't mean you have to change your gender or anything like that. It just become more recognizing. So you can say technically that's what's going on currently. It's a wake up call. Yeah, it's like sending a missile into a male toss. We can't even say it. A male oriented reality, sports and all of that. It just shows that more feminine energy is going to. Yeah, it's maybe not the best way, but for those that are experiencing this is how they're going to do it. They could have went about it differently, a lot differently, but this. So it shows the corporations their side. How the gender doorway for them is they can do that. Yeah, they can change their gender. Those at the top, at least. That green light, not all of them are going to do it, but some of them are obviously thinking about it in some form or another. Doesn't mean they're going to go out and get a surgery tomorrow, more likely. But they're open to it. So it just shows more feminine frequency. It's a way of bringing it through. You're also seeing more of the feminine energies currently more masculine than the male recently. Maybe too masculine, overly masculine to an extreme. So they're just working for balance currently. And that's going to take some time. So what you're seeing with the world right now, well, it's also a shock value with whole trans influence that's going on. It's just all about shock, and that's definitely going to get a lot of people's attention. Now, are they going to learn anything from this? Probably not. I was more irritated, but it shows that more the feminine frequencies are going to find its way in its own form. It's up to the individual to decide where that goes. But basically, the male and female energies are kind of battling it out. They always have throughout life. As once again, you see a female more masculine than a male, and the males are slowly becoming more feminine. But it doesn't mean, like you say, you're actually working towards a middle ground eventually, where just you're acknowledging your differences, but also just allowing more of a more mentally balanced world. But obviously, this world isn't. It's not mentally there. As for sanity, it goes to the extremes. This is an extreme world. It might not be extreme as for adventure. That'd probably be a lot more exciting for a lot of you, but it's more like a mental extremist, as you can see. With the violence done in this world, it's all a mental game. And the mind has not been fully figured out, as you can see. And some are looking for a way out of this reality. They're looking for like a ticket to get off this planet. I know it's a little bit cryptic for that to come in, but some are finding ways of just reason not to come back here. And some feel like they're not going to come back here. But in truth, some will have to come back here because they're failing in their incarnation. But they don't always feel that way. Sometimes when they're failing in their incarnation, first off, they're not believing it. And there's signs of it without going into full details of that. Most are not going to go through that, but there are some that will. Is I'm not going to come back here. I'm not going to come back here, and they end up coming back here because they didn't really do anything with their lives in this life. They give us, give you some idea where we're going with that. So blessings. Brings you. This is the consciousness of your reality. This is more of your Earth's higher self, you can say. Yes, you can say it's part of Gaia's energy, but it's also just more the higher dimensional Earth. So what's happening to your world right now? Yes, it's cutting itself up in some areas. Some corporations need to go away. Basically, their agendas are coming to an end. Maybe not quite yet, that you're seeing. Society in general, on the spirituality side, is getting stronger. Will continue to do so. It doesn't mean Atlantis will come out of the ocean anytime soon, but there'll be more speculation and also memories, but also alternative memories from other realities. Slowly, those will become, and also even we're kind of going to the next topic, but the holographic way of seeing the future, even the past. Basically, you're unlocking some of your Akashic records. When the time is right, realize also remembering the past can also alter your future. I mean, you can kind of derail your future a little bit if you know too much about the past. Well, basically, if the world's not ready for information, such your Atlanteans, because it does get very dark with them, as some of you know, extremely dark, and you're here to remember that. Eventually, you're getting pieces of it here. Yes, of course, you have dark Atlanteans here. They're trickster beings. They're having a blast with society, especially with materialism. They live getting people holding on to materialism where they can't let go of it. As many to see that. Of course, there are all your basic needs, but there's other things you don't need. But either way, that's like a trap here and trap you in the physical realms. Things usually attractive things kind of get people wanting to come back here because they like their lifestyles. So it's kind of like a soul trap in some regard. It doesn't happen to everybody, but there's some, as some of you probably see, it does work. Yes, a life of luxury, whatever it might be. Even you can still be in poverty and still have things in life that you're kind of attached to for the most part. Actually, poverty lifetimes. It really has to do, not everyone has to be poverty, but a lot of the poverty lifetimes also shows that you are done with this reality. You are disconnecting from it. Well, because when you're living a life, it's like, I don't want to live this anymore. I don't want to live that anymore. It shows you are on your expiration life, your last life. For some, not all. And some already know it. Yeah, they know they're on their last life. They kind of rejected everything this world has to offer. They can't function here anymore. And then they leave. They wonder why nothing's working. Job isn't working. This isn't working. Friends aren't working because you're out of here. You're on your last life. You don't want to have anything to hold on to here. Now, you can't anyone spiritual, and you are making connections on a spiritual level. So there are connections, just not necessarily. You don't always need it in the physical. Some need the physical because it's an anchor. It has not that they're always going to come back here, but just a reason to be here. There's this many connections, but others are disconnecting on a massive level, actually. But there's a flood of new energies coming here. They're just going to be losses of, yes, more transhumanism beings are going to probably come back into this reality, and more of the AI will increase in the future. You're seeing pieces of it now. You're seeing it laid back. Take it easy, but just like you're seeing this whole trans movement, you're going to see more of the AI movement. Somebody might see it in this life, but it doesn't mean you have to be a part of it or anything like that. But there'll be some that just can't get away from it. They get addicted to it, like they're doing plastic surgery and things like that. So it doesn't mean it has to be part of your life, a microchip in the brain. No. Some will be more than happy to do it. Some will find a way to make it work. But you have some time for that. That's pushing it, as some of you know. That's like there's some things you're allowing, but there's some like you can't cross that line, especially when it has to do with the brain. And yeah, they haven't quite had the right technologies to really repair like bodily functions and things like that, like do brain work and for the body to work more. Man, well, AI actually, that's really where you're going now. Is there technology being developed there? And it's very slowly. The idea is to keep AI out of your brain. As some of you know, there are ways of doing that for the body to function better. Blessings. Grace you. We are the energies from the fifth dimension, uh, also connected to your physical reality, your holographic realms. You can say, yes, your reality is a projection actually from the spirit realm. Basically, you found the recipe to create this physical reality. Of course, it's being held onto by the lower dimensions. So the lower dimensions feel as if they have an ownership of this current reality. Now, obviously, many of you come here and say, I don't think so. You don't have a ruling over this world. And that's why many of you come here. Or you send your friends or family or somebody, say the dark realms, they can't have this world. They might influence it, and society has a lot to learn from it uh, for, for whatever reason. There's all different reasons, but well, a lot of beings in the higher dimensions don't believe worlds like this even exist. I mean, meaning they're very high up. They've seen some are yes very disconnected, and many of them are here. And those some of those that are very connected in the higher dimensions, they incarnate here, are very disconnected from your current reality because they're always trying to reach the reality they came from. And yes, they can be very delusional also. Delusion is normal for them. It's because they kind of reject this idea this world even exists. Yes, this world comes and kicks their ass, basically. Not everybody. Some have gotten used to the energy. Well, it's like, why souls keep coming back here. It's not like you have to accept this reality, but it's like you kind of like better understand what this world has to offer. Others just reject it. They just connect to other realities and somewhere else and just zone out their whole lives. They might say that they're checked in, but I'm checked out. But if you just realize what kind of world this is and just, yes, go with the flow of it. And yes, you might not exactly like all the experiences you're going through, but you kind of know what's purpose. You don't know what it is. It's like being on a ride and you don't know where it's going. On a higher level, you know. But in this route, you're just like on a boat ride, kind of like that. You have your ups and your downs and things like that. It's kind of like that. You can say it's a roller coaster ride, also. But it'd be more just like not exactly accept it, but just realize what the purpose of this world. It can get easier. It doesn't mean it'll stop you from getting energy attacks and things like that. Because sometimes, because you come here to change this, to alter it, but you're not letting it drive. It might drive you crazy to a certain level, but you're also bringing back your sanity. Others, it's like you say, tap out, and there's sometimes not much you can do about that. You just let them run their course. But some of you are here to really change the course of this reality for the better. You might not always be seeing it. It might take us a long time. But it's like you're living in this world is like knowing the gears of life also. So just kind of knowing how to maneuver, even if you might not get your life in order 100% or anywhere, or might be completely off. It's like this, like you don't know this purpose of this world, but you don't know, but you know. And that's a lot. It really is. It's because, like I said, others just disconnect altogether. And that's why so many people here are, as you call it, the common man, are embedded into this world. So, well, because, and some don't want to leave, they are attracted to it. They feel almost charged by it. It's a challenge. They want to beat it. They want to, some want to become wealthy, not always, or some do, just to, for them, that's their goal. But others just want to live in a world like this and make it work where they can actually have some kind of happiness and learn of its of its ways. Because yes, you can't get this anywhere else. That's for sure. This experience. Blessings.